Hey y'all, welcome to another What Else is Going On, aka We Go Podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. I hope y'all are having a good old Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yes, get ready to be Wednesday. I hope y'all are having a good old Tuesday. Is it rainy where y'all at? Because where I'm at in Baltimore, it is raining. It rained on and off all day. Also, I'll be trying to get to the comments, respond to everybody, but it just sometimes it gets, I can't between driving and doing videos, all that good stuff. But one of y'all asked me what kind of camera I use. You said your video's real clear, what kind of camera you use. So I wanted to tell you the first thing was the hubby, the producer, the manager, he upgraded me for my Zoom. I record through Zoom. And when you get the basic Zoom package, it records in 720. He upgraded me to the business package. And so my recordings are now in 1080. So that's probably why it's clear. If you're on Instagram, I'm at WeGo Podcast. DM me and I'll take a screenshot of the type of camera that's sitting on top of the computer. But I do think with Zoom being in 1080, it probably won't matter. You could probably use whatever camera you are using or want to use, because I think the big reason for the overall better, clearer video is because like I said, I upgraded to a business plan on Zoom. And so all the videos record in 1080. The only way they don't is for some reason, if who I'm recording with, if theirs isn't matching or level or something, Corey explained it to me. But basically, then that video will revert back to a 720. So if you ever see videos where I'm maybe recording with somebody and they're not always as sharp, sometimes it may depend on their connectivity or something like that. But anyway, I just wanted to get to that because I didn't want you, because I remembered it, but I couldn't remember which video the comment was on. So I hope you see this. Anyway, y'all, let's get into a couple of things. Y'all, we got so much going on. I'm going, this is going to be one day what I'm going to be doing and not be out in those streets doing that ride share, getting it that way. Because there's so much stuff I want to do. Like right now, I'm gonna talk to y'all about a little Bravo stuff. I want to talk about the Diddy trial. Y'all heard some of Cassie's testimony today, y'all. When I tell you, I don't see how his daughters are in that courtroom at this point, even his sons. But we'll get into that later. Then I gotta catch up on the Valley. I still owe y'all a review for the episodes I missed. Basketball wise, now I gotta recap episode 1 and 2, but I gotta watch 2. But that's all right. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get it done. All right, let's get into it. Housewives edition of Wife Swap. So we talked about earlier last week, Bravo announced 4 new shows, Wife Swap, Housewives edition being one of them. Do y'all remember who I was talking to on here? It was either on here or I might have been a guest on another podcast when they said they had heard rumors of who the housewives for the Housewife Wife Swap edition were going to be. Well, I saw it too today from Reality Blurb. So let's get into who the housewives might be. So it says report Melissa Gorga, Emily Simpson, and Wendy Osefo join cast for Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition. Plus, an RHOSLC star will join them. I don't know why they just didn't put it in the title. Child, it's Angie, but let's get into it. Bravo fans have been abuzz recently thanks to Bravo and NBC Universal announcing multiple shows. Among them is Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition. As the name suggests, it will mirror the format of the former Wife Swap series, but it will feature some of our favorite Real Housewives stars instead. Now, a report lists a rumored cast for the upcoming series. As mentioned, Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition, isn't the only show coming. Yeah, we know, Ladies of London, the Valley Persian style. So recently, Bravo and Cocktails, shout out to them, reported the rumored cast for the upcoming Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition. They also said that the series will begin filming, y'all words, this summer. So which of our favorite housewives are being rumored to swap places with one another? Real Housewives of Orange County, Emily Simpson. It's gonna look dead into the camera. She brings a dynamic personality to her show, so she could be perfect for this. Who wrote this article? Okay. The next rumored cast member is none other than Real Housewives of New Jersey star Melissa Gorga. On display, each and every day. Okay. Naturally, for those of you that didn't watch Jersey, that was Melissa's song. Jill built her studio in their house and everything. Naturally, she's a doting mother and makes for excellent television, so it would make sense for her to be a part of the series. Real Housewives of Potomac, Dr. Wendy Osefo is also rumored to join. Wendy has become a fan favorite, and there's no doubt about her thriving in such a format. Time out. They said Emily brings a dynamic personality to her show. They said Melissa's a doting mother and makes for excellent television. Wendy has become a fan favorite, and there's no doubt about her thriving in such a format. Where is her accolades? Last but certainly not least is Angie Katsanavas from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Notably, she went from friend of to getting first chair at the most recent Salt Lake City reunion. And she also coined the term high body count hair. This means she could create great television on this new Housewives show. Based on the comments on the post from Bravo and Cocktails, fans are excited about this rumored cast. What do you think? So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that's a good cast? I'm going to tell you, I was going to watch the show anyway because it was on Bravo and it had Housewives. I'm definitely going to watch the show. Can y'all guess if they do it by episode, which episode I may not watch? I'm kidding. I'm going to watch all of them. Anyway, are y'all excited? I'm looking forward to it. I wonder how they're going to pick the houses they go to. That'll be interesting to see. All right, moving on. Next up, I want to talk about Shamea. Shamea, again, we've talked about this, y'all. Atlanta is out here doing press on this most recent episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We saw on camera the unraveling or the tension between Porsha and Shamea and their friendship. Now, in that episode, and I did talk about it with my guest Raven, so that podcast episode, the of course, if you're on my YouTube, you probably seen the episode posted today. It also uploaded the audio version. We talked about. I felt like Shamea had, if she hadn't have brought it to Angela, if she hadn't had a conversation with Angela and Drew, there would have been nothing for Angela to take back, right? Angela met with Porsha at the rental job and said, I feel like Shamea feels like this is a lopsided friendship. So she didn't say Shamea said this for sure. She didn't say this is Bible. She said, I feel like Shamea feels like the friendship is lopsided. Let's get into what Shamea had to say. So Shamea sat down with the decider, and I went on over there to YouTube. Let's get into. Well, first up, let me share my screen with y'all. It's about 8 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and speed past that. And actually, I took a screenshot. In the beginning, she's just talking about, she's wanted to be a housewife basically, but it was God's timing and all of that. Then we're gonna get in. We're gonna get right to the rest of it. So we're going to go about 2 minutes and 25 seconds in, and we are going to look at the rest of it together because I really want y'all to. Child, I'm dropping stuff. All right, let's go. Looking at Shamea, she makes me want to cut my hair. All right, let's go.
Well, hopefully we'll get a boy soon.
I want to talk about your friendship with Porsha.
That part was they asked her about the surrogacy, and we covered that in our video yesterday where she said there's no baby yet.
Some people have been a little critical. They maybe accused you of being too loyal to her. I know Angela said something about a puppet, maybe like a lap dog. Mm-hmm. What's your response to that?
You know what? I would rather be accused of being a puppet, a lapdog, too loyal, than to be accused of being a bad friend. I can only worry about me. Mm-hmm. And I've always been taught to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Mm-hmm. In order to get love, you got to give love. Mm-hmm. And I operate in love and from a good space. And so in any friendship that I have, I'm going to try to be the friend that I want you to be to me. And if it's reciprocated, I'm happy. But if it's not, that's not my fight. That's not my battle, and I can't worry about that. And yeah, I am sometimes loyal to a fault. But you know what? That's just how I am. I can't change it. And
I'm gonna stop for a minute because you know what we do? We watch and then we stop and we discuss. When she says, I'm not gonna change that, that's how I am, I'm loyal to a fault. At what point, if it is hurting you or affecting you, does it not become about that's just who I am? Does it not become a personality trait? I'm a loyal friend, no matter what somebody does to me. I'm a loyal friend. I do unto others as I would have them do unto me. At what point do you protect yourself? And I'm not just talking about her and Porsha, I'm talking about in general. I feel like sometimes people wear that as a badge of honor, even when they know it isn't being reciprocated, because that's how they get their validation. And I don't necessarily think that's always good, but let's get into the rest. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
I hope that, we can come out in a better place. But if not, I know that I can leave knowing that I did everything I could. I love this person to the point to where it made me look like a bad, like, puppet and lapdog, Yeah. So, and that's just what it is. And I don't feel bad for it because we all want a loyal friend, right? We all want someone that we feel like is our person that'll ride with us till the wheels fall off. And that's the friend that I am.
Absolutely, and that's a good friend to be.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about the mid-season trailer. Angela tells Porsha that you feel like your relationship is lopsided.
Shamea may feel that this is a lopsided friendship.
Wow. What was your...
Y'all pay attention to Shamea's answer. We just saw Angela said Shamea may feel that this is a lopsided friendship. Listen to Shamea's answer. What the heck? Y'all, I'm really getting ready to scream.
Your reaction to seeing that? How can you talk about how your friendship with Porsha will play out?
So these are things that I do feel. However, I've never voiced them to Angela.
These are things that I do feel. However, I've never voiced them to Angela. Remember that.
These are Angela's words, and that's the disappointing thing. Angela is afraid of Porsha for whatever reason.
Girl, what?
She can't express that, okay, looking at your friendship, this is how I feel about your friendship. She's taking it back to Porsha as if this is how I feel. When she's asking probing questions to me like, oh, well, I saw Porsha didn't come to your wedding. And I'm like, that's true. That was hurtful. That was a bump in our friendship, but we moved past it. But don't you feel like it's, a little lopsided at times? But we're good, So now that's been taken to...
So I want to stop right there. She said, don't you feel it's a little lopsided, Angela? And Shamea says, at times. She said it to Angela. Yes, at times. Also, Angela being afraid of Porsha, girl, please. Angela got her clothes on so fast, you would have thought she had slept in them when she heard Porsha mention F and Charles and went down there to ask her what she meant by that. And Porsha and her towel called ghosts. So I don't believe in a physical sense, which I don't think that's where Shamea was going with. But I also don't believe that Angela is afraid to have any conversation with any of them. But let's get into it. But Shamea did admit, Angela asked her, does she feel like it's lopsided? And she says, at times.
Oh, Shamea feels like this. And she came to me and said this. And I'm like, girl, I would never. I don't even know you. I'm just getting to know you. Why would I want to come and confide in you about my best friend? What you're doing is picking our friendship apart. And a few of the ladies have done that. But the disappointing part about it all is that she's allowed it. If they've come to me, I've shut it down. I'm like, yeah, this happened, but we're good. Yeah, but, and the fact that she opens up and she's like, yeah, and, crying about it with them, and it's unfortunate because she never gave me the grace to call me and say, hey, this is what they're saying. Is it true?
When Shamea says she shuts it down, do y'all think if somebody's asking you a question about your best friend and an incident that everybody knows happened, right? But somebody new is coming into the fold, asking you a question about it, do you think shutting it down is saying, yeah, it happened, but we're over it? And continuing to answer their line of questioning, because then Angela asked her, do you feel like the friendship is lopsided? And Shamea said, yes, at times. Because to me, I think shutting it down, if someone were to be asking me about an incident with my friend, girl, we are so far past that. We ain't even get ready to discuss all that. Moving on. That's how I think it shutting it down would be not. And if they were to say, well, what we look at your friendship and feel X, Y, and Z. Do you feel like it's lopsided? Girl, we is not going to sit here and discuss my friendship. As you a relationship counselor, ha ha, moving on. That's how I think shutting it down. I do feel like Shamea, it almost seems like not that she kind of wants it both ways, but Porsha is a lot for what for however many for how much we think that maybe there were times when Shamea has been a better friend to Porsha. I also feel like you don't get to then discuss our friendship because she's saying it as if I'm not discussing our friendship. They're asking me probing questions, but you're answering them. So I don't think you get to say I would never let people discuss my friend when you're answering their questions.
Hey, this is what I feel, or this was hurtful when I heard this from Angela, or I heard this from Kelly, or whoever. Is this what you said? Give me the benefit of the doubt. Give me the grace that I've extended to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and let's talk about it. If we're real friends.
Yes.
And if you want the friendship. And I think that's the thing that is kind of the most hurtful part about it all. Because after 20 years of friendship, I still didn't get that grace.
Yeah, and that's not fair to you.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you know, we have Phaedra coming back soon. As we know, Porsha and Phaedra are frickin' frats.
Absolutely.
You and Phaedra have kind of had your, you know, issues in the past.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Would you say her coming back into the mix has had any effect on your friendship with Porsha?
I would hope not. But, you know, I think at this point, anything with Porsha is going to affect our friendship because she's just so open to letting people pick it apart. I would hope that in the future, frickin' frat could leave me out of whatever they conjure up because in the past, as we've seen, they've talked about my marriage or relationships that were not true with other castmates, and it could have really hurt my engagement at the time. But we've moved past it. I'm going to continue to operate in love, and
She said, I hope they leave me out of whatever they conjure up, baby. Let's go.
I'm going to meet them where they are. If they continue to show kindness and they're not shady to me, I won't be shady or nasty to them.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm all about meeting them where they are now. Like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I've given enough grace. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Angela, there's been a lot of rumors with her and her husband, and people have said he's had a baby outside of his marriage and he's cheating on her. We saw a lot of it in the mid-season trailer. We've heard sprinkles of it throughout the first half of the season.
I know some married men that don't wear rings as well.
Yeah, my husband does not wear his.
No?
Just hold on to your panties.
Child, I'm gonna move a little bit of this because they're not about to get me caught up with YouTube. No.
What do you make of all those rumors?
I hate that. It's unfortunate. You know, I want to see marriages work. Whatever their drama is in their marriage, let them deal with that. I don't want that to be up for public scrutiny or public conversation. That's their private information, and if they choose to share it, if it happened, it didn't happen, I could care less. If he loves her and she loves him, then I wish them well. I love to see black marriage. I love to see the excellence that they show. I want to see them stick it out because marriage is tough, you know, and there are highs and lows in it. So I don't want to ever be a part of someone's downfall, or you know, I want to only pour more love into their relationship so they can continue.
Yeah.
You know, I hate that. This show, you know, people say, oh, this show will ruin a marriage. No, I don't think that that's, if a marriage is solid in its foundation and it's deeply rooted in love, a show can't ruin your marriage. You know, only you can do that. You and your partner can do that. So I hope that their marriage can sustain it as well as mine. Yes. I hope that we can all, I hope the ones that are going through divorce can figure it out and rekindle their relationships.
Who's going through a divorce on the show? Porsha and Simon and Kelly and her husband. And so she just said she hopes that people going through a divorce can rekindle. Now, maybe she meant people in general. Maybe she didn't mean people on the show. What y'all think? Because it felt like a little bit like she might have meant the people on the show. I don't know. What did y'all think about that interview? Again, I kind of go back and forth. Like I get, make no mistake, I get exactly what she's saying, you know? I also am like, you participated in that conversation with Angela. You know, Angela didn't have that conversation by herself. again, there was a different way that it could have been shut down. It could have been very much what we're not about to do is sit here and discuss my friend. I do wonder if Porsha comes out and does any more interviews, if she's going to discuss the friendship or is she just going to be like, I'm good. I'm looking because I think it was Shamea's birthday recently, and Portia wished Shamea a happy birthday. It was really cute. And then Shamea commented, "Thank you so. Oh, this means so much to me." I'm paraphrasing because oh, here it is. Here it is. Hold on, child. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, y'all. This is so random. But randomly, I just saw on the Jasmine brand that Britt Eady's prayers up. Her grandmother that was on the show had um, died on Mother's Day. Wow. Um, Sending prayers over to Britt Eady's family, child. I know when I lost my grandmother, it was like, so prayers up for Britt and her family on the passing of their loved one. I just saw that while I was on the Jasmine brand, but I wanted to show y'all this. Okay, here we go. So I think it was like a carousel that was done. And if they haven't talked, I could see how Shamea would be like, oh my gosh. So Portia said, happy birthday, Shamea Morton. I hope you get everything your heart desires. You deserve it. Child, then with these short haircuts has me wanting to be like, zzz, snip, snip. I love that haircut on Portia. And then Shamea said, this made my day. Thank you, Portia. I appreciate that. What they don't have, I was looking for, is Portia responded and said something like, you deserve to be celebrated. Or you deserve it, or you deserve everything good. Enjoy being celebrated, or something like that. So I just thought that was good. I'm sure that did mean a lot to Shamea, considering everything that they're going through now. But I want y'all's take on that interview because that gave us a little more than watch what happens live, I think. And we get a little bit more context to the conversation that Shamea had with Angela and Drew, and Angela having that conversation with Portia. Let me know what y'all think. Last up, we recently heard that from Page Six last week that RHONY was going off the air. Sources have come out and said that is absolutely not true and that they will be filming this summer. Let's get into what Andy Cohen had to say.
Going off the air is the words they use.
Let's get into, here we go.
I need to say again, even though Bravo said it.
I saw it. It said going off the air is the words they used.
Well, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. We are between
They're in between seasons
on the Housewives. So, but what's so interesting is last week when I was here, the Bravo execs met with 10 potential new Real Housewives of New York. This is called the casting process between seasons. Yeah. And it's heavily underway. And that's why nothing has been announced. So I don't know what to say. It's really odd. It just keeps going on and on. So there you go. I guess I need to say again, even though Bravo said it.
I saw it. It said going off the air is the word.
So there we have it, folks. RHONY is not going off the air. They're in between seasons. And people did say, a lot of people said, just because it wasn't on the list that they announced of shows renewed, like they just came off their season, they're still casting for it. So it has not been canceled. It has not been paused. He said they met with 10 women. I guess you got to get a lot of them to narrow it down to however many you are looking for. Okay, y'all, and then Jessel responded. She was like, I thought I was going to have, basically with the rumors about RHONY, I thought I was going to have to continue to film at, and then she put her husband's name, Eating. Because you know how he's a foodie now, and she would go with him sometimes. So she said, "Oh, I thought." Basically, she thought she's making a joke, like basically, "Oh, I thought I'd have to go back to filming him, like for money or what have you." So casting for RHONY is underway. Let's see. Let's mark it as Tuesday, May 13th, 8:18 p.m. Okay. I want y'all, I'm gonna say who I think they're gonna bring back, and I want y'all to put in the chat who y'all think, or the comment who y'all think they're gonna bring back from RHONY. I think they're gonna bring back Jessel, Sai, Aaron, and Raquel. I think they're gonna bring back those four. I really do. And maybe make Jenna a friend of. Jessel, Sai, Aaron, who else did I say? And Raquel. Jenna, friend of. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up off here. Y'all see me in my uniform, my black sweatshirt, which I do wash all the time. So don't think I'm just walking around in a funky sweatshirt. It's just really comfortable with me driving all day, and it has like a little pouch in the front. So either if I'm driving or delivering groceries, I can slap my phone in here. So that's why you always see me with it. And I love my sweatshirt. But anyway, and my T earrings. But love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good evening. See ya.